Already done with the back. I'm not going to be long today. We're going to talk a little bit about this Washington Commanders Detroit Lions game. So hopefully you guys enjoy the video. I might have to redo the Spotify or something. I'll try to figure that out. I think they deleted it, but we'll figure it out later. Give me 1 minute. So. Hold on. My bad. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I'll figure that out later. Don't forget, hit the link tree. Follow me on Facebook, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, Road to Bob Screen, CJ Good 313. I mean, this weekend about to be on fire in the D for sure. Auto show downtown. I straight up forgot. Obviously the Pistons play the Suns tomorrow. Where else we at in life with this? Yeah, the Pistons play the Suns and auto show. All Lions and Commanders obviously tomorrow. I mean, we are speaking about that right now, so that's pretty quite obvious right now. So yeah, it's gonna be a movie tomorrow for sure. So yeah, it's gonna be a movie. Shout out to Benjamin Fall. Let me know if you want to come on. Downtown Detroit is definitely going to be on fire tomorrow. So, but we got a good one. We got an interesting one here. We haven't played Washington this season. I mean, they're a new team. Apparently, they have a gripe with Ben Johnson. If you haven't heard, starting off there, he turned down the opportunity. There's some rumored things around the Washington Commander franchise that he allegedly said, as far as, he didn't want to work for basketball guys. Magic Johnson, Bob Myers from the Golden State Warriors. And then also they're going around saying that reports was he didn't want to draft Jaden Daniels or Caleb Williams. He wanted to stick with Sam Holland. If that's the case, then you really probably got to challenge. You probably really got to challenge his. How can I say this? You probably need to challenge his roster IQ. Now, what I find it funny is the assistant GM in Washington. He was here in Detroit, and this particular guy is the guy that Ben Johnson wants to bring with him wherever he goes. And right now, it seemed like he may land in Las Vegas, but you know what? That's another story for another day, right? So apparently the Commander fans are juicing themselves up and saying, "Oh, this is revenge against Ben Johnson." All the pressure is on the Detroit Lions. No pressure is on the Washington Commanders. All the pressure is on the Lions from Detroit. And it's just like, if you're not wide and awake, for this particular game, I don't know what you're gonna be wide and awake for. If playing the Lions for the right to go to the NFC Championship game and year one of a rebuild from Dan Snyder is not good enough for the Washington Commanders, and they need to find a way to amp themselves up, by saying, "Oh, we want revenge against Ben Johnson." I don't understand it. I mean, it's going good with Dan Quinn, Cliff Kingsbury calling the plays. Said he happy with being a play caller there. It's going really, really well there. Why are you concerned about Ben Johnson? That's all I want to know. What's the concern about? Oh, Ben Johnson, we want revenge. Because he didn't want to be there. It seemed like that was one of the best things that can happen to the Washington Commanders, right? Everything is fine and dandy in Washington right now. So they just trying to find a way to hype themselves up. They find a way just to hype themselves up. So they find a way to hype themselves up. And if you got to hype yourself up for a game of this magnitude, so be it. They practicing outside. I don't know why. Remember Matt Patricia had the Lions practicing outside to build toughness? That didn't work. So be it. Sometimes pressure is what you need. You need the pressure on you. The pressure make you focus. So is this an inexperienced team? This was supposed to be a rebuild. They tore down a lot of the guys. They tore a lot of them guys out of there. They got Montez Sweat out of there. I remember a lot of Lions fans wanted Chase Young. Chase Young is no longer there. He seemed to be, one of those guys that seemed to be a bust. He seemed to be one of those guys that's an absolute bust. Nobody's talking about him being one of the biggest busts. Him being one of the biggest busts out there. They were supposed to be a rebuild year this year. They took Michael's Sanderseal, what I forget his name from Michigan. They traded for Marshawn Lattimore. People talked about him being the worst rated corner player on the field last week. He's coming off a hamstring injury. Clearly, he's not ready. Obviously, for Washington, they really got away from running the football. You remember last year they passed a lot under Eric Bieniemy, but when you look at Brian Robinson, a running back who got shot out of Alabama, he had a great year last year. And this year, that's kind of the issue with Cliff Kingsbury. Cliff Kingsbury is that he does not commit to the run. And one of the things that worry people, and you hear it a lot in the comment section about, Jaden Daniels taking a lot of hits. You hear fans say, "Well, he don't take a lot of hits." He takes hits, unnecessary hits, and when he get hit, it doesn't look good. It looks like a cartoon. Like when he get hit, it looks like a cartoon. Like the animation when he gets hit, it doesn't look good, right? And people say, "Oh, the Commander fans in the comment section, talking, oh, it's overblown." It's like, bro, we seen them get hit in college, and it just doesn't look good to the eye. So you never really want to rely on the quarterback's legs as much as they do for their running game. I mean, you think last year, well, he had a better year this year. That's crazy. I felt like last year, or his rookie year I'm speaking on, he had a great year. But for whatever reason, they're not running the ball with him. It just feel like he has 799 yards. Last year he had seven. Well, he played one less game. I guess 66 yards. So he's pretty much been a 799 guy. But he just, to me, they're not running the ball enough. They're not running the ball with enough success. They're simply not running the ball with enough success, in my opinion. And anytime you get where your quarterback is your leading rusher, it seems like you're really going right back down that road with RG3. Jaden Daniels had 891 rushes in 17 games this season. Rushing yards, 6 TDs. As his gifted, and I understand he has to pick up the slack. He doesn't have the weapons. I mean, he has some solid weapons. I like Damani Brown, Noah Brown. This old Olbermann did, Zach Kushis, whatever. I like him a lot too. Bounced around the league. Zach Ertz, he was with the Lions, I think, for a second. I like Austin Eckler a lot, catching out the backfield. He's a guy that you got to worry about tomorrow. I think if you playing FanDuel, fantasy sports, you definitely probably want to lock in Eckler. That's who you really want to lock in tomorrow in the passing game. But Terry McLaurin, he's been one of the best receivers in the league. So, but yeah, I just feel like they're relying too much on his legs. But do what you do. Do what you got to do. I didn't know Clean Farrell was still in the league. That's wild. This motherfucker still getting checked. Remember, he was a dude that the Raiders had drafted. I think the Raiders drafted him. Yep. I didn't know he still was in the league, but nonetheless, I'm nor here nor there. But yeah, I just think overall, I think they're just relying too much on his legs. And he got to learn to get down, because when he does get hit, it's like it doesn't look good. Like he gets smacked. But yeah, if they can find a way to run the ball next year, he can avoid a CJ Stroud type of fall off next year. If they can run the ball with their running backs next year, I think he's gonna be dangerous. But when they tend to have these mobile quarterbacks, they tend to handicap them in the long run by using their legs too much. I think if they smart next year, they try to keep them in the pocket and they run the football. And tomorrow it's going to be tough for them to run with their backs, but I think they have to attempt to run with their running backs tomorrow. They have to attempt it. They have to attempt to run with their running backs. If they don't run the ball and they rely on his legs tomorrow, I think they're going to regret that. So I think, if they can establish the run with their running backs, I feel like they got a really, really good chance to beat the Lions. If they can't run and they relying on Jaden Daniels, then it's up to Aaron Glenn to come up with the game plan. And what should the game plan be? And obviously, you want to build that wall and keep them in the pocket. But that takes a lot of gap integrity. You know what I'm saying? That takes your ends have to set the edge. And they cannot lose contain on that edge. And really what you need that pressure in his face. You really need Levi Onwuzurike. And you really need Josh Pascal to crash that pocket on the inside. If you can get pressure up his face and keep him in the pocket to get your hands up, that's the recipe. Contain him in that pocket, get the pressure up the middle of his face. But if he able to get outside that pocket and get to them sticks and all that, you got a couple opportunities how you can play this. There's a couple ways that you literally can play this. One of the ways you could play it, you can blitz. You could just straight up blitz, but the thing about him is he's really good versus the blitz. He's got a great deep ball down the field. You're going to give up chunk plays. That's one of the things you can just say, you know what? We going to stack the line. We probably going to double Terry McLaurin, and we going to blitz. We going to blitz, and we going to hit them and wear them down, and we going to trust our corners to make plays on the outside. We going to trust Kirby Joseph to really, swag surf on that field and do what he do from sideline to sideline playing middle field. So you really can stack that. You really can stack that box with blitzes. You really can stack that box with blitzes for real. And that's probably what they should do. That's probably what they should do. But, or you can just play, zone. You can watch them. You can squeeze the zones, hit them, make them drop the ball. That could be a thing. So, it all depends. But contain is the key. If he able to get on the outside or he able to run up the middle of the field, at the end of the day, if you blitz him like you did Sam Darnold, he's a little bit more he's better under pressure. But if you start hitting him early and you get home early, you start hitting him, one thing about it is you're going to wear him down. And if you wear him down, he ain't going to be able to run late in the game. Now, you can play him straight up. I wouldn't say they should play man coverage because once you play man coverage, you turn your back. That's why it's hard to play man coverage versus a mobile quarterback. You lose contain and the defender's backs are to the quarterback. He's gone. He take off running. Other than the spy or the guys that's right in his immediate vicinity, they don't know where he's going. Other than them, everybody back turn. So do you sit here and you play zone? Do you play combo coverage, man underneath, zone over the top? Do you play a cover two? You know what I'm saying? I mean, these are great questions. Do you have a zone blitz going? Do you straight up blitz man to man and just see if you can hit them early? I feel like if you get a lead early, a touchdown lead early, why not come out and blitz them and hit them and wear them down? You know what I'm saying? That's the thing about it. You bring that pressure. He's no ordinary rookie. This motherfucker was in college football for 30 years. Say what you want to say. He was in college football for 30 years. He was there for quite some time. So he was at Arizona State 2019, 2021. He was at LSU for 2 seasons. So he was there for 5 years. He was a 5-year player in college football. 5 years. Most guys going after 3. So this is not no ordinary rookie. Very poised. He's a guy that reminds you of a California quarterback. Real calm, cool, collected kid. So yeah, I mean that's my options. Either you blitz him, you hit him, you trust your coverage on the back end. You try to disguise him. He's very good against the blitz. You try to disguise him against the blitz. You play zone coverage and squeeze him. I think those are your really your options. Either You playing zone. You disguising your blitzes. You zone blitz. I think man, the only time I really play man across the board is when I'm sitting in a house. In my opinion, I'm sitting everybody, and then you got to worry about okay, what about we send somebody and drop somebody underneath because of course when you blitz or they get the right one-on-one look, they going to McLaren down the field. They going to Damani down the field. You know what I'm saying? So do you have obviously you're gonna have Kirby playing the middle of the field, the single high, but you know, maybe sometimes you play off, they might try a slant route. You know, so do you have somebody acting like they coming and you drop a lineman and jump into the passing line? So they got to get funky like that. But really, you know, what it really boiled down to is Aaron Glenn. His nemesis has been mobile quarterbacks. And it's really, once you think about it, it's really not a surprise. Think about it for a minute. It's not a surprise. He loved to play man coverage to a fault. It's to a fault. So that's why you got to make sure, excuse me real quick, you got to make sure that your guys can play man and zone. You got to make sure because when you playing these mobile quarterbacks, you can't man up as much. Like I said, when you playing zone, you watching the quarterback. People, now I think about zone is you passing guys on. And also it's easier to play. It's easier to pass against zone today than it was back in the day because guess what? I can throw balls where I normally wouldn't throw them because the game protects the pass catcher. That's the problem. I know in a game like this, if you get threw out for targeting or whatever they call it in the league, you know what I'm saying? So it makes it easier because the defenders are not reading and reacting. They thinking like, okay, can I tackle him? That's why they got mad at Kirby Joseph. And they're like, oh, Kirby's dirty because he goes low. What is he supposed to do? If I'm reading and I'm reacting and the letter of the law tell me to go low and say I can't go high no more, what else can I do? I have to go low, so don't throw the ball over there. In the middle of the field, you cannot hang your receiver out to dry. So a lot of them balls they throw over in the middle of the field, you'll see Jared Goff protect St. Brown a lot of the times. He got Jahmyr Gibbs fucking killed the other day, but you'll see him protect him. If he know, St. Brown is sitting in the zone and the defender coming, he'll lead him the other way. He'll throw it low where he can get down and catch it and protect himself. You got to think about back in the day when you playing with Deacon Jones, you playing with guys like, Dick Buckus and those type of dudes. Like, bro, you come across that middle, Mean Joe Green, you getting smacked. Ronnie Lott, you come across that middle, you going to that upper room, nigga. It's up. You gonna be stuck. It's up, and you gonna be stuck. So a lot of these quarterbacks, they get away with it because when you coming down to make a tackle over the middle, you thinking like, okay, I don't want to get a penalty. And I was talking about this with my coworker today. When you talk about the tackle zone, they want you, like, your only chance for you not to get penalized is to go below the waist. No, Diddy. Because think about it. If you tackling up here, you form tackling, like, you know how they teach you to form tackle when you wrap. Let's talk about that. You wrap. Your helmet, even if you aim for this, and this, your helmet still can make contact with the other helmet. Right? So if I'm tackling you like this and I tackle you and I come up, and you got to understand, it's going way faster than that. And I come up and my helmet, that's helmet to helmet. If I lead with the shoulder like Brian Branch and I tackle you like this and our helmets touch, that's helmet to helmet. So anytime you tackle anybody above the waist, there's an opportunity that your helmet can meet their helmet. It's a big opportunity. But if I tackle you below the waist, no Diddy, pause, I have 0% chance of a helmet to helmet. It's not a penalty. So that's what you got to understand, that I cannot take your head off across the middle no more. So, yeah. So it's crazy. Let me read some comments. Benjamin it's gonna be 6 degrees on Monday and 4 degrees on Tuesday. Nasty work. Daniel scares the hell out of me. Yeah, because they don't do a good job of playing mobile quarterbacks, and that's even before England got here. Remember that time Joe Webb lit us up in Minnesota? And there was one play that Jaden Daniels made yesterday versus Tampa. He tried to make the sad line, and Levante David beat him there. So the one thing about the Lions linebackers, they're big. I just don't think people realize how big. No, did he? Campbell and Anzoni. I didn't understand how large of a human Anzoni was. That dude 6'4", about 260, bro. So that's the thing about it. Like Levante David, and remember they had Devin White. They can run. You know, he was running still on Levante David and them. You know what I'm saying? They can really run. You know, but if he get caught by some of them Lions linebackers, they can catch him. It's a different beast. Levante David, 5'11", maybe 220, 230, man. Campbell and Anzoni every bit of 6'3", 6'4", 240 to 260. You know what I'm saying? So that's a different type. And they moving. I ain't saying they Devin White or Levante David, but they moving. Yeah, we want revenge. Oh, yeah, from 91. You seen them practicing with the fakes? Yeah, I seen that. I mean, a lot of teams do that. So I'm going to be honest. I have a feeling we're going to put a lot of points on offense and defense. I mean, that could be the case. He said 4 field goal. Be Caleb Williams coming on that. No, did he, bro? He said Daniels going to be the bright light. I mean, I think he used to it. I mean, Heisman Trophy winner. I think Cali kids get shook. I mean, the spread is the largest of the weekend, 9.5. It is. But if they going to win, you know, they know the Lions struggle with them quarterback runs. So I don't know if they switch it up. And they switched it up last week. Let's keep it real. They switched it up last week. They blitz more than they usually blitz. And I think one of their better blitzers, are the best blitzer they got is F.A. Melifanu. Their best blitzer is back. So with that being the case, they may use him, you know, in the box more. Because, you know, if you really paid attention last week, Brian Branch is back playing the nickel. Yeah, Brian Branch is back playing the nickel. He's playing nickel coverage now. F.A. Melifanu was moved to safety. So now Meek and Terrion is playing the outside corners. Now, me personally, what I would have done, it's hard to take a Meek off the outside. I think a Meek is a better outside than nickel. And you knew that coming in. I think he was originally meant to be an outside corner. He played well his last year in Las Vegas as an outside corner. I remember that pick he had on Christian Watson. It was one of the sweetest picks of not this past season, but the season after last. It was a phenomenal pick. And I think him going to the nickel was just a product of them trading for Carlton Davis. I don't think they had planned on having Carlton Davis, Terrion Arnold, Ennis Rackstraw, and Amik Roberts. They didn't plan on having all those guys. So the way the draft board fell, they traded for Carlton Davis. You know, they thought Amik was going to leave. Amik came. You know, you heard he said they tried to bury me, but you can't bury me, come with the dirt. So they, you know, nobody else was probably trying to sign him. So you got Amik, you got Terrion, you know, you drafted. Oh, you brought traded for Carlton Davis, still was able to keep Amik. I think they was happy with that. But then Terrion fought you, and then you get an opportunity to get in this Rackstraw, which he almost close to return from a hamstring, which he pretty much redshirted this season. So you put a hell of a room together. You know what I'm saying? So obviously you will get in his Rackstraw back, and he's more of a safety precaution because he's learning to play the nickel. So honestly, I think they moved it the way they should have moved it. But you get so much coverage across that board. It's crazy. You know, Kirby ain't really a really good man cover safety. He more of a off the center field safety, and that's fine. He can play a little man. But he's not really a man cover set, but everybody else can cover in man coverage, or they can cover in general. Everybody can cover his own, but everybody can cover in man. When you go across that board, F.A. Melifanu was locking down Devontae Adams a few years ago on Monday Night Football. Or was it Sunday Night Football? Brian Branch can play man-to-man coverage. Amik Roberts, we see what he did with Justin Jefferson. He can play man-to-man coverage. You know, you go Terrion, we know any of them, he played more man-to-man coverage than any rookie. But obviously this Sunday is probably going to be the true test of them playing more zone cover. So, yeah, they're going to have to play zone. You know, I think zone is the key. And then also, you know, you still got Lamar. Lamar and Josh, one of them will eliminate themselves. Obviously, Mahomes is going to be there and right around the end. And then next week, you're going to see Jalen Hurts. So you're going to see a mobile quarterback 9 times out of 10. So this is, I mean, I don't think any of these quarterbacks left outside of Lamar Jackson is as dynamic as Jaden Daniels athletically, but you can lay the groundwork for next week. It's actually a great segue with Jalen Hurts. So see what works. Do you blitz them? Do you play zone? Do you play zone blitz? Do you act like you could it's a lot of things you can do, but I don't think you could predominantly play man coverage. If they were to play Lamar again, if they were to play Josh again, I don't think they're gonna play as much man coverage. And if you do play man coverage, I think you gotta be coming. Pause. You have to blitz. You have to blitz. So, that's my humble opinion on it. So I think this could be a game they could lose. Anything can happen. This is a good football team. The Commanders. This is a game they can come in and somebody's going to get upset. It's Vegas. Somebody's going to get upset this week. Somebody's going to get upset. They got to make their money back. Somebody's going to fuck the money up this week. I will tell you that right now. Somebody's going to fuck up some comments, yeah. Fuck up some comments, yeah. Somebody's going to 200,000. Somebody's going to fuck it up. You got 8.5 in Houston. They're giving Kansas City 8.5 or Houston 8.5, 9.5, 6.5. One of these three teams, one or more of these teams, somebody going to fuck the money up. Somebody's going to fuck up some comments, yeah. One of these, somebody getting upset, at least one. The likelihood of all three, I can't really call Buffalo and Baltimore upset. It's 1.5. And Baltimore is the favorite. Ooh, but they did beat them in the regular. But let me talk about that game. Check the Goodfella TV shorts. I just Goodfella TV channel. I just did a video on NFL picks. Last video I dropped. Link in the link tree. So somebody gonna get upset. So don't sleep. The Washington Commanders are an NFL treasure. They are an NFL treasure. They got a sleeping fan base. They were very successful in the 90s, wearing they, pigs and all that. I just don't see Houston being that team. So it's going to come down to one of these two games. Somebody going to get upset. So I doubt if it's going to be Matthew Stafford. I hope maybe all the favorites will come out on top. But the Commanders are not to be taken lightly. That quarterback, and they got some underrated weapons. Zach Ertz is an old dude, but defensively, they lacking a little bit. But they gutted their defense. They really did. Bobby Wagner, Hall of Famer, playing at a high level. Michael Sander, whatever his name, from Michigan. Marshawn Lattimore, he's good. We can take a look at their depth chart before I get out of here. Let's take a look at it. Let's take a long walk after dark. See who all they got. But they lost a lot of guys. They still got a lot of guys too, man. But 100,000, 200,000. Unofficial. So, Jeremy Chin, I heard that name before. Quan Martin, Michael Sanderfield. I don't know who Noah and Gene is. I know Michael Davis is. I think he played with the Chargers. Marshawn Lattimore, they traded for him. Dante Fowler. Remember his baby mamas was fighting each other and shit down in Jacksonville, so they got Fowler. Payne. Damn, what happened to Jonathan Allen? He gone? Or he must be injured. But Khalil Farrell still doing it, getting the bag. I ain't mad at it. Khalil Farrell still getting the bag. Shout out to Dog. Nigga stuck around, still getting the bag. What happened to Jonathan Allen? My bad, I put Allen. So what's up with Dog? So am I tripping or I just don't see that nigga on the depth chart? Let's see the injury list. Yeah, I don't see him. So yeah, I'm not sure what happened to him. I'm reading right now. He was out with a pec a couple months ago. about a month ago. So they saying that they need to excel in this game. I'm reading right here, so I don't know. So I don't know. They saying they gonna play, so this is an unofficial depth chart. Let me check ESPN. Let's see real quick. 100,000, 200,000. A money shot right now. Dog, I feel so tired right now. Let's see. Is she? So, yeah, he in there on this depth on their website. He in there. Yeah, he in there. So I mean, shit, it's gonna be a good one. I like the Lions by 6. I don't think they gonna cover. I got any questions? I answer them real quick. I like the Lions by 6, but like I said, I don't. The Lions didn't hurt me so much, man. You just prepare yourself for the worst. Yeah, they just hurt me so much. So I'm always cautiously optimistic. Always. Always. You know, a lot of people be standing on, oh yeah, we gonna fuck them up and we gonna beat their ass. We gonna, I be like, I don't know, nigga. I ain't sure, but that's all I got, man. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it. I don't think no questions came up. Let me check the actual YouTube chat, but that's all I pretty much had. Appreciate y'all. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Peace.